Kevin Owens has opened up about working with former Universal Champion Seth Rollins, and said he has known him for over a decade, and they share a unique bond. The two superstars are set to compete in a fatal four-way match for the prestigious WWE Championship on day one. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins recently formed an alliance on the Red brand. On the latest episode of Raw, they teamed up to take on their day one opponents Big E and Bobby Lashley in a tag team match. Following the bout, they embraced in the ring. During a recent interview with Pat LaPrade and Kevin Raphael on Les Antipodes de la Lutte, Kevin Owens shared his honest thoughts on working with Seth Rollins. When it's been so long you know someone, like Seth, I've known him for 15 years now, you develop a chemistry with that person after all those years. With Seth, it's a different chemistry, because a chemistry like the one we have right now, we didn't really know we had that. We knew we could do good matches and provide good wrestling together, but we never really had a chance to do some back and forth like this, so it's fun to realize that there's something there, said Owens. Kevin Owens has been a mainstay on WWE television for many years. He has held several titles in the company, including the Universal Championship. He has faced many top stars such as Roman Reigns, John Cena, and Goldberg. The prizefighter commented on his booking and revealed how he tries to stay relevant on TV. I always try to give to the show what I'm being asked to give. I try to give them what they want, in a way that fans will appreciate it, and will be able to say that even if they watched one of my matches and thought that it should have not finished the way it did, that they thought it was a good match anyway. That's what I want. I want to give good matches. So that's how I'm able to always have an important role to play on the show, said Owens. Kevin Owens has never held the WWE Championship before. At the Day 1 pay-per-view, he'll be looking to win the coveted title for the first time in his career. Can Kevin Owens win the WWE Championship at Day 1? Sound off your thoughts in the comments section. WWE is reportedly preparing for contingency plans if state mandates are issued due to the Omicron variant of COVID-19. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, the company might return to the Performance Center in Florida or utilize the ThunderDome once again to film shows such as Raw and SmackDown if mandates are issued. WWE can go back to someplace in Florida. You can always do the Performance Center. The problem is that if you put Raw and SmackDown in front of 300 people again, those numbers will crater. The ThunderDome thing, I mean they did better in the ThunderDome than the Performance Center, so I think that in that sense WWE could look at a ThunderDome again and try to take residency in a building, but it's hard because I guess you could do the baseball stadium, because baseball isn't starting for months, so I guess they'll go to the Tampa Baseball Stadium and set up, said Meltzer. WWE returned to the road in July, with SmackDown Before Money in the Bank being the first show to have fans in attendance after the end of the ThunderDome. WWE reportedly has two shows set for its next return to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in 2022. The first show is expected to take place in the month of February, while the second one will take place in October. According to recent news, WWE's upcoming pay-per-view event in Jeddah could be cancelled due to the increase in coronavirus cases in the United States. The transmission of the Omicron variant is a major ongoing issue, which could lead to more restrictions in the US. As mentioned above, the company has contingency plans, so it's left to be seen how things will pan out in the coming months. Sources have revealed that the real reason WWE split up AJ Styles and Omos is because of the separate plans they have in mind for both superstars. WWE has been teasing the tensions between the two for weeks before things imploded last night. This week's Monday Night Raw saw Omos turn on his former partner and demolish him after losing a match to the Mysterios. According to WrestleVotes on Twitter, the former Raw Tag Team Champions were split up because the company has bigger plans for them both in early 2022 and thus wanted to end their partnership as soon as possible. If it felt like they sped up the Omos and AJ Styles spilt, it's because they did. Source says both superstars have significant plans in early 2022 and wanted any type of blow-off program done prior to the major Rumble and Mania events, WrestleVotes tweeted. Next week's edition of Monday Night Raw will feature a match between the former tag team partners as AJ Styles faces his former personal colossus. The partnership ended after more than a year. AJ Styles first introduced Omos to the main roster after the latter was drafted to Raw in October 2020. The pair became the Red Brand's tag team champions at WrestleMania 37, defeating Kofi Kingston and King Woods of the New Day. The duo held the tag team titles up until SummerSlam, where they lost to the entertaining pair of Riddle and Randy Orton. After he betrayed Styles, Omos warned him. He proclaimed that the next time he sees AJ in the ring, it will be for a match. Following the implosion, the Phenomenal One appeared on NXT 2.0 after being called out by Grayson Waller on social media. The latter, however, refrained from a physical altercation, stating he would let Omos deal with AJ Styles first. Waller's statement has intensified the match between Styles and Omos even more. What are your thoughts on AJ Styles and Omos getting split up? Sound off in the comments. On the latest episode of the Out of Character podcast with Ryan Satin, Baron Corbin revealed that he received death threats from fans after hitting Becky Lynch with his end of days finisher. At WWE Extreme Rules 2019, Baron Corbin teamed up with Lacey Evans for a mixed tag team match against the duo of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. It was during this showdown when Corbin hit his finishing maneuver on the reigning Raw Women's Champion. During his conversation with Ryan Satin, the former Lone Wolf stated he was receiving death threats on a regular basis after going against Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins at Extreme Rules. According to Baron Corbin, most of today's critics are only loud behind the safety of the internet. The former United States champion also mentioned something that Roman Reigns had once told him about haters. "When I hit Becky with the end of days, I was getting death threats. On a regular basis. 95% of critics are on the internet or safely behind somewhere they can't be accessed." Roman said it the best one time, that he's never met a hater in real life. "That's the same kind of thing with me," said Baron Corbin. On the back of a win over Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch is now set for a rematch against her new rival. The man will be defending the Raw Women's Championship against Morgan at the WWE Day 1 pay-per-view on January 1, 2022. The man is currently in her second reign as the Raw Women's Champion, having exchanged her SmackDown Women's title with Charlotte Flair on SmackDown following the 2021 WWE Draft. After the title exchange, Becky Lynch went on to defeat the Queen in a spectacular champion vs. champion match at Survivor Series 2021. WWE reportedly has big plans regarding Bobby Lashley's on-screen character. The Almighty has been portraying a heel for a while now, and that could soon change. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE is preparing to turn Bobby Lashley babyface. The video package that aired at Survivor Series and his attack on Raw at the hands of Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens could support this. If you watch the show, you certainly get the impression that Bobby Lashley is going babyface. They played a total babyface video package for him at the pay-per-view, yeah. So, I mean, it's been feeling like that's been in the cards, and then he has to beat 3 guys to get in to the Day 1 WWE title match. I mean, that's a total babyface move, said Meltzer. Bobby Lashley is set to take on Owens, Rollins, and Big E at WWE's first pay-per-view event of 2022, Day 1, for the coveted WWE Championship. The bout will be contested in a fatal 4-way match, meaning he doesn't need to be pinned or submitted to lose his title. 2021 was the year of the Almighty. On the March 1st episode of Raw, he dethroned The Miz to win his first WWE Championship. He successfully defended the gold against Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, Kofi Kingston at Money in the Bank, and Goldberg at SummerSlam. He was also part of a popular faction known as the Hurt Business, which included MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Cedric Alexander. At WWE Day 1, Lashley could capture the WWE Championship for the second time in his career and possibly defend it against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 38. Although that's unlikely, it's still a dream match that many fans would love to see. Liv Morgan loves staying in character, and that's exactly what happened on Raw. A funny moment was caught on video after the main event that saw Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins seemingly forge an alliance. Liv Morgan has been feuding with Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, who she is set to face in a little over a week at WWE Day 1. It will be her second shot at the Raw Women's Championship, as she fell short a couple of weeks ago in the main event of Raw. It was all captured on video after Raw ended and Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins were exiting the ring. Bianca Belair came out and Liv Morgan did too. When she crossed paths with the two former world champions, her responses were different. While she hugged Kevin Owens, she briefly screamed at Seth Rollins, staying in character as he is Becky Lynch's husband. This is, of course, because of her rivalry with Becky Lynch, who has referenced her hot husband Seth Rollins on numerous occasions. It was a funny bit, showcasing how WWE superstars can instantly let their guard down and have fun the moment the cameras stop rolling. While Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins will have to put their new alliance aside at Day 1 to compete for the WWE title, it will be a one-on-one match for Liv Morgan again. She is set to take on Becky Lynch in a rematch, one that many feel she won't win. It's understandable why, as Becky Lynch seems to be on another level. However, it's always possible that Morgan wins, and has a relatively short title reign before losing it back. Fans may prefer her not winning the championship at all over having a short title reign. However, she wouldn't be the first popular babyface to have a short run with the title, and she certainly would not be the last.